Someone says, "Hi, Helen, I just listened to your Satsang where you supported people in self-inquiry. When I do self-inquiry, I always get to a point that seems bound to me. I would really appreciate any feedback. When I inquire, I see there is no person per se. There is just body, mind, impulses in forms of emotion, thoughts, etc. So I see a kind of programmed computer, brain being the chip, and then the experience in form of its activity and interpretations. And then I ask, well, who is aware of all this? And yes, there is no one to be found, just awareness, stillness, quietness. But if I let go of all spiritual concepts also, how can I know the brain can't be aware of itself? Stillness just being the absence then of brain activity and just its perception of the now. I don't have proof I'm boundless. My awareness is limited to the body. I used to find myself boundless, but now it seems to me it was just a spiritual belief. I would very appreciate your comment. Thank you for being available to the world. It's really a blessing. Thank you." This is something that I remember going through as well. Couldn't find a separate being. There was a body, there was emotions, as I was just saying. And there was awareness of those sensations, emotions, thoughts, and awareness of a body. And it didn't feel, this awareness, when I first noticed it, we could call it stillness, silence, consciousness, beingness, presence, whatever, noumenon. It didn't feel limitless and boundless. It felt just like something finite and limited. And this question also came up for me. What if awareness is a function of my brain? And is that awareness then going to die when this brain dies? And will I be no longer existing? If what I find when I look for myself is the awareness, then I must be that. I can't find a separate being in the awareness. But is this awareness permanent and stable and immortal and all of that? So it might seem like it's a spiritual concept, but here is where your mind is giving you this last doubt to look at. It's saying, we can't be sure, or I can't be sure, mind says, that this awareness is limitless, boundless. And I need you to help me with it, it's saying. So I don't have proof I'm boundless. My awareness is limited to the body. I used to find myself boundless, but now it seems it was just a spiritual belief. So I really like you to look at that, not to look at this as a failure. Here's your mind very bravely sharing with you this doubt and asking for your help to resolve it so that you can come to permanent peace. And a real deep understanding that you're not going to go when the body goes, that awareness can't disappear. So this awareness, you say, is limited to the body. I want you to look at why do you feel that way. If awareness is a function of the brain, then it would be a finite, limited phenomenon that comes when the brain comes and goes when the brain goes. If we can prove then experientially that awareness is not a phenomenon, it's not limited, and perhaps most importantly, that it's not coming and going, that it's not a phenomenon at all, then it begins to become clear that it's not at all something that's limited. The waking state depends on the brain, but not the awareness. The waking state being a kind of symptom, a side effect, an outpouring of this awareness coming through a human brain, taking the shape of a human brain also. So why do you feel that this awareness is limited to the body? Here's the crux of it. It seems that way. As I said, when I noticed the awareness, first of all, it felt like a something. It felt like my awareness. It felt limited. I was convinced that if anybody was sat next to me on the sofa, that my awareness would stop somewhere in between the two bodies and theirs would start. Let's look at awareness. What actually is it? Is it a thing? Try to find it. Try to find where it is. it really, really, really seems like it's limited to the body, but we must really challenge that and go with what we can prove here and not with what seems to be. If we stay with the seems to be, we'll be stuck forever. We want to prove experientially here and now that this isn't limited to the body. Where is this awareness? It's here. Where isn't it? Where does it stop? Is it a thing? You know, my hand has a size and shape because it's a thing. But is awareness like that? Is it limited to a form, or is it formless? If it's formless, can it have an edge? Can anything that's not a form have an actual edge? So looking at it like this, I really challenge this idea and just being really determined here for you to see clearly here. It seems like awareness is limited to the body, or silence, stillness, consciousness, presence. Really pushing through that with a determination. I want to see, I want to know. I don't just want to hang out with the seems to be of it. That's why your mind is giving you this doubt now, so that you can come to a final experiential conclusion here. Awareness isn't limited by anything at all. And we must really be willing to push through this last idea that it seems to be finite and limited and belonging to me or belonging to the body. But if we look, we'll find it doesn't have any edges, doesn't have any shape, doesn't have a start point, only something that's manifested has a start point. And only something that is manifested has an end point where the visible form disappears and appears and then disappears. Is awareness like that? Can you point to where it is? Is it here or there? Does it have a location like a thing? My body's sitting here in this room, in this town, in this country. Can I say that about awareness? Where is it really? Where isn't it? How far does it reach in all directions from my body? Is my brain using awareness, or is awareness using my brain? So just real desire to push through this once and for all. And you'll kind of awaken this power within you to see this clearly. Just being determined to prove experientially, and you can right now, rather than go with this seems to be of it. Proving experientially that awareness is not a phenomenon. It's before phenomena, and all phenomena arise in it, including your body, including your brain. And proving again and again that there isn't a separate being in awareness. And it becomes very clear, just known deep, 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 without any doubt eventually, that I am this awareness and I'm not limited at all. This is a good thing that's happening, but it feels like a setback. What I used to be so sure of, now I don't know. But that's only because now you want to move past this last doubt that's coming up.